Hello there, hi. Welcome back to this channel. For today's topic is image evaluation of chest and lateral projection. In this video, I will focus on evaluating the positioning aspect of the image. So, let's get started. As a radiographer, your duty is not just finished after you press the exposure button. You need to evaluate your output image before you send it to the requesting clinician. In this stage, you need to access the quality of your image. Let's focus your assessment on positioning aspect. Is the radiographic image deliver the rightful positioning criteria to best demonstrate the diagnostic value? The first element you can focus on when doing the evaluation on positioning criteria of Paceman method is to focus on rotation element. The correct positioning of chest and lateral projection is indicated by superimposition of the right anterior and posterior ribs over the left ones. When positioning the patient in left lateral projection of chest, the left side of patient body is in contact with the image receptor. Because the right lung field and ribs are positioned at a greater object to image distance than the left lung field and ribs, the right lung field and ribs are more magnified. This magnification prevents the posterior and anterior ribs from being directly superimposed. Normally, approximately a ½ inch or 1 centimeter separation exists between the right and left posterior ribs, with the right posterior ribs projecting behind the left. In this image we can see that there is more than 1 centimeter separation exists between right and left posterior ribs. This indicating that the patient was positioned with the right thorax rotated anteriorly. A rotated lateral chest image obscured portions of the lung field and distorts the heart and hilum shadows. The second evidence you can seek for justifying correct positioning of chest and lateral projection without chest rotation is by assessing the intervertebral foramina of the thoracic spine. True lateral projection of chest should clearly open the intervertebral foramina spaces. In this image you can see that blue arrows pointing to the thoracic intervertebral foramina spaces. Look closely and appreciate that the spaces are closed as the patient was rotated during the image acquisition. Next, the third evidence you can seek to determine correct lateral chest positioning is by looking at the sternum. In true lateral projection of the chest, the sternum should demonstrate it in profile. Come closer and take a look on this image. You should be able to appreciate that the sternum is not in profile, indicating that the patient was not positioned in true lateral chest projection. We are done on evaluation of rotation element under the positioning criteria. Are you still there? Are you okay so far? Wake up and do some exercise because I still have info to share with you on lateral chest radiographic image evaluation. So far we have covered the rotation element and evaluation of positioning criteria of chest and lateral projection. The second element we can seek for, to justify correct positioning of the projection, is to look at the tiltation element. Let me show you how to get it done. Proper patient positioning in lateral chest projection without tiltation would require mid-coronal plane perpendicular to image receptor. This will bring the mid-sagittal plane parallel with the image receptor plane. This positioning will eventually demonstrates the superimposed bilateral lungs without foreshortening with nearly superimposed hemodiaphragms. Poor mid-sagittal plane alignment would be prominent in patient with improportionate shoulder and hips. Therefore, there is tendency for the radiographer to position the patient in tilted manner. For example, when positioning the patient with broad shoulders and narrow hips in left lateral projection of chest, poor mid-sagittal plane alignment would cause the right hemodiaphragm to be projected inferior to the left hemodiaphragm. As I mentioned before, to obtain a lateral chest image without lung foreshortening, positioning the mid-sagittal plane parallel with the image receptor. When imaging a patient with broad shoulders and narrow hips, it is essential to maintain parallel mid-sagittal plane by positioning the hips away from the image receptor. Okay everyone. Let's recap on what we have learned so far. We had covered the rotation and tiltation elements in evaluation of positioning accuracy in lateral projection of chest. Don't forget to check out my next tutorial video to test your understanding on what we had